Hey guys, this is Rachel. This is my first video I'm making on I guess YouTube, obviously. I am here to talk about living with bipolar disorder. Um, I've been diagnosed with bipolar 1, which is more rapid cycling of going manic and depressive and manic and depressive. And manic means that you're just going a million miles a minute. You get this euphoric high. You feel like you're on top of the world, and you do extremely impulsive things like spend a lot of money that you don't have and go on these like crazy shopping sprees and just having so much energy where you don't require much sleep at all, even if it's like 2 hours a night. It's being so, I guess, high that you feel almost superior to other people. Not that you're, not that you are. For me at least, I'm not like a bitch, but I think that, oh my gosh, like the world's great and everything's great and I'm so happy and it's like I'm on ecstasy and I just like love everybody, love everything, love everyone. I love to do things with people. I would I would like I can't even explain it. It's so complicated, but just think about when you're really really happy and just so excited about something and times that by like 100. That is manic. And um hypomania is when you feel is a little bit, it's hypo means um it's hyper and hypo. So hyper is above hypo. So hypomania is a little bit less manic than manic or hypermania, and that's just a little less symptoms, but or maybe even the same symptoms but less severe, or less affecting you personally, I guess. Like, you may go on a couple of shopping sprees, or you may feel pretty excited about something, but if you're super manic, you're like, oh my god, yeah, people think you're on crack. Yeah. But really it's just how we are, or how I am, and it's really hard to deal with this disorder because it's really easy to feel like you're defined by that. Because there's so many stereotypes that and stigmas that people have in their minds that, like, I even had when I was little, like, oh my gosh, that kid's so bipolar. What's wrong with him? Why is he all sad and then happy and then angry and mean? And it's not like that for everybody. Everybody's different, if you haven't noticed by now. But I think that it's hard for people to understand how it feels, um, or try to at least try to understand how it feels when it's being explained to somebody like a family member, or a friend, and they just don't get it. But the thing is, like, they will never get it, but they just need to understand that we know what we have and we're trying to manage our symptoms, and that does not define who we are. Who we are inside defines who we are. And we just happen to, or I just happen to be somebody with bipolar disorder, and that can be managed. And I can use that as an advantage instead of a disadvantage. And yeah, I have really shitty days. Like today, I felt depressed. I cried for no reason. And there's a difference between being unhappy and being depressed. Being and chronically depressed in a episode of bipolar. Um, Unhappy is just like anybody and everybody gets. It's, you don't have a good day, maybe a few days, things don't go your way, and you're just kind of sad, down in the dumps, crying a little bit, talking to a friend, just saying you don't want to get out of bed. But being depressed is truly feeling like you are not worth living because you hate living in the moment, because you hate feeling like that. I hate when I feel that I don't know what the hell is wrong with me and I have everything going for me, yet I'm so sad and I just had to wake up today and feel like that. And I didn't choose to feel that way. And that's the hard part about having bipolar disorder, is that sometimes we can't really choose how we feel. We can manage it, but we can't treat this disorder. But it's really, really hard to um, justify feelings when I'm depressed, or when we're depressed. Whoever else may be watching this and can kind of relate to what I'm going through. I was diagnosed about 2 years ago. I'm 22. Right now I'm in a outpatient treatment recovery place where I'm just kind of learning coping skills and stress management and how to deal with my anger in healthy ways instead of chemical dependency and alcohol use. And it's going really great, but it's hard. It's just good to know that I'm not the only person out there that is alone. Like, other people feel alone, and when we're all together, it's a reassuring thing and a hope that we all have the same types of feelings and that we're not the only ones. So my purpose of making this video, I guess, or series is that, I guess, just kind of tell it like it is. It sucks, but sometimes it's great. I love when I'm manic. Yeah, I can do anything. I can go run 3 miles. I'll go shopping. I'll go do crazy things that are fun, but a lot of times they're way too impulsive. Like, I did amateur night at a strip club. Like, that's so stupid. I'm not that kind of girl, but I didn't think about it at the time. And it wasn't just like, oh, I was in college and I was just a little drunk and crazy. I was pretty aware of what I was doing, but I was like, whatever. And it's not that I didn't care about myself, it's the impulsivity that comes with this disorder. And managing that is harder to do, especially when you're manic, but it's easier to notice the symptoms of depression and how to deal with them when you are in a quote unquote normal state of mind. A normal, I mean, what is normal anyways? But if there's a norm, or not being manic or not being depressive, in the middle of that is when it's best to recognize, okay, well, when I'm depressed, this is how I feel, this is what I do about it, and then this is my consequences of how I've dealt with it. And then you can kind of look at, when I'm manic, these are the feelings I have and these are the actions I take, and these are my consequences. Like, example, when I was manic, I did amateur night at a strip club, and my consequences were, well, I won, which was great, but that's not the point. My consequences were my family found out. I had a bad reputation, and it was awful for me. And I didn't think about those until it happened. And an example of being depressed is, I can get depressed sometimes and just drink myself to a point where I've tried to commit suicide, and my alcohol level was like a 0.34, and that's the worst. That was one of the worst times of my life, and that's just an example of when I was depressed. I just drank because I wanted to feel numb. I didn't want to feel like so hopeless. I'd rather feel numb than hopeless. And I chose to I chose to feel numb by drinking alcohol. But really, by drinking alcohol, I became more sad, and I tried to commit suicide. And the consequences of my actions were I have a couple $1,000s for this hospital bill. You know, my family is so hurt and worried and scared. And it's obvious to me that I don't love myself enough to recognize when I'm in those states of mind, that I can't do something about it, which is why I'm in this program that's going to help me. So I hope that what I learned from this program and treatment can help me talk to you guys or whoever, wants some help or wants to listen to someone who's not, or maybe to listen to someone who's just like you and can relate to me. And if it helps, then I'm so glad. And if you want to leave comments and say, oh my gosh, you're so crazy, go right ahead. I won't get offended. I've been called every name in the book, so feel free to talk crap about me. I mean, I really could care less. I'm just doing this to help others and help myself. So this is the first one I've made, and the next video will be coming up probably on Monday, today. I don't know, Monday like the 8th or something like that, 9th, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for listening, and let me know what you think. All right, bye.